Desert Solstice, December 17th, 2011. How fast can I run 100 miles? I wanted to find out. Here's my experience running 402.5 laps on a 400-meter track. 100 miles. Running 100 miles doesn't scare me like it used to. I don't wonder if I can actually run 100 miles anymore. I know I can. I actually enjoy running for very long distances. Since becoming a fruitarian and cultivating my physical body through running, I have changed. I now do what I was designed to do from eons of evolution as a human. Although I've eaten a very unnatural diet for most of my life, the core DNA, the foundations of how I was created as a human creature is within me. Now on a fruitarian diet, I am alive like never before. My physical self has transformed over the last 4 years eating a fruitarian diet while practicing an ultra-running lifestyle. My mental clarity and focus is simple. I don't struggle with making decisions. My mind and my gut feelings work as they were designed correctly. Depression is not something I understand anymore. I am driven to survive without fear. I live. Simply, I live. My inquisitive instinct has me trying new things. Running 100 miles as fast as I can on a 400-meter track seems very appealing to me. The goal seemed very pure. I have no destination running in circles. There are no obstacles other than the distance and time. There were no distractions of scenery, music, and very few spectators. This was as pure a challenge in running that I have ever undertaken. I embraced the suffering that I would encounter and was resolved to try my best, to run with heart, to exist in purity as I was designed in nature. The Desert Solstice was organized by Nick and Jamil Curry. I met Jamil online about 3.5 years ago on a social forum that was discussing fruitarianism. Soon after learning about our shared passions of ultra running and a fruit-based diet, we started meeting at ultra running events around the country. For the last 3 years, we've all seen each other do some amazing things. I really admire Nick and Jamil Curry. They're brothers as brothers should be, and they live and run with heart. The Desert Solstice was their idea of pulling together some of the best ultra runners in the country, to put them in an environment where they could try and achieve their best. The setting was perfect, a brand new 400-meter track in Phoenix, Arizona. The temperature was 45 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. There was little wind. It was partly cloudy. The air was clean. The start time was at 8 a.m. instead of the usual 4 or 5 a.m. like most other ultra running events. There were only 9 invited runners at the event, all very accomplished. There would be no congestion while running. The track had large lights that would keep us stimulated long after the sun would set later in the day. The aid station was stocked with dozens of options. There were probably 3 volunteers for each runner in the race. Any request, any assistance would be met almost immediately. We were being cared for in every possible way. We only had to run our hearts out and push each other to achieve greatness. There was no entry fee for the event. Nick and Jamil asked that the runners only make a charitable donation to the local school. Everything they were providing was free. Everything that went into this moment and experience felt right. So the journey begins. It's 7:58 a.m. My fellow explorers, seekers of human potential, gather on the starting line. Nick explains the electronic timing system, official USATF rules and regulations of recording a certified running event. He wishes us good luck and he sounds the horn. We take the first step of many. Many. Running 100 miles as fast as you can is a challenge of mental and emotional patience, intense consciousness about your caloric and hydrational state. It's managed suffering, a little experience, and a little bit of luck, and I hope for the best. I wanted to seek some personal glory. My ultimate goal was to break 13 hours, which is 7 minutes and 47 seconds per mile average. I knew that would be very difficult to achieve. My training leading up to the race didn't go as well as I liked. I missed 3 planned long runs the 3 weeks leading up to the event, and I knew that running further than 70 or 80 miles at a quick pace was asking a lot of my body that I hadn't worked towards properly. But the miles go by very quickly, and soon I am at 50 kilometers, which is 31 miles. I'm feeling a little bit uneasy about my 7:35 to 7:40 per mile average pace. I resolve to carry on and have faith that my body will rise up to the occasion. I reached the 50-mile halfway mark in 6 hours and 20 minutes, which is 7 minutes and 37 seconds per mile average. Muscularly, I felt okay, but I sensed weakness in my core. My adrenal system or something just wasn't pumping out nuclear power at a level that I wanted. I had to dig into reserves between 53 and 60 miles. I was really struggling within myself. I wanted to give up for almost an hour. I suffered greatly. I tried to embrace the experience, the emotion, the challenge, the fact that I was having a deep, ultra running experience. It wasn't easy anymore. I knew I would appreciate the day if I could just keep going. I really had to dig deep. I had to start running with heart. At almost 100 kilometers, 62.2 miles, I broke through a very dark place in my run. It was a massive achievement for me personally. The next 38 miles I knew were going to happen. I knew it was going to be okay. I lost my 7:30s per mile average gear completely, and soon after that I lost my 8-minute mile per average gear. I was slugging it out. I was running 8:20s and even upwards of 9-minute mile paces at times. I was pressing to hold on, and on, and on. I only stopped to use the bathroom for 26 seconds and 59 seconds when I had to change some clothes during the entire event. Prior to this 100-mile race, I had never not stopped to walk or stand still in a 100-mile distance event. I tried to give myself a walking break a few times between 70 and 85 miles, yet my running motion of my body was so methodical that when I tried to walk, I literally couldn't. My running motion was so engaged that my body couldn't stop. It was much like what I've experienced when I transitioned from riding a bicycle for a long period of time and then try running. You almost forget how to do anything but move in the same momentum and mode. The laps around the track go on and on and on. I acknowledge that I am surrounded by others who are trying to achieve greatness with me. I admire them so much, yet I literally haven't spoken a word to most of them in my entire life. I understand who they are at a level that their own loved ones can't understand in large part. I live an ultra running lifestyle, and I know life like few others. Being with them on the track had tremendous energy. I drew on our collective power immensely. My goal of running a sub-13-hour 100-mile time were long gone, yet I resolved to pull off as much as I could out of my body and spirit. I set my eyes on running sub-14 hours, which would still be a very respectable achievement that I would appreciate. With 20 more miles remaining, I start to calculate mile averages, how many laps I have remaining, micro goals, step by step, ahead. I am constantly repeating mantras, positive reinforcement, and willing myself towards the impossible. Soon, I have less than 10 miles. I realize that it will all be over before I know it. As much as I yearn for the finish, I truly love the moment that I am in. I began the journey to reach more goals than just the finish line. I started because I wanted to visit a rare state of being, a place that you can't stay in. A place that you can't stay in for very long. A state of existence as pure and natural as life can provide. Mile 90 was a special time for me. I had arrived. I was living to my fullest, and I knew I would soon leave this place and return back to normal life. 6 miles to go. It's just one loop of Central Park. The place that I've learned so much about myself through running. This was my 6-mile victory lap. I wasn't on a 400-meter track anymore. I was running past the Central Park Reservoir. I was running up Harlem Hill and down past Delacorte Theater. Tavern on the Green and Sheep's Meadow were drifting through my mind. I was running at home. It was all right. The last mile, I shook off my tired running form. The forward lean, I broke away from my handicapped stride. I stood tall. I ran with heart and gave myself a pat on the back. I let myself celebrate the last lap with exhilaration. I ran effortlessly the last 400 meters in 79 seconds. 13 hours, 46 minutes, and 18 seconds. 8 minutes and 15 seconds per mile average for 100 miles. I had just run 100 miles. In many ways, it was a first, a new experience for me. I achieved something truly special, and I am appreciative. These are rare opportunities of greatness in my life, and I know it.